My name is Nolan Wolkow. I was a collegiate discus thrower at South Dakota State University. Throwing was a family affair for us. My brothers, my cousin, we all threw in D. Smith, South Dakota. And discus was kind of our thing. I can remember throwing in my parents' front yard as little as a 4th, 5th grader, trying to emulate my brothers. And it was one of those things that I just grasped onto and had a knack for through high school. I ended up winning 2 state championships in the state of South Dakota, including a gold medal for the longest throw at the state track meet my senior year. Which led me on to a collegiate career at South Dakota State. It was a learning progression for myself. It was a great opportunity to be a part of something in college and keep me involved with other people. But I was able to actually compete well at our conference track meet my freshman year, and I ended up winning the North Central Conference as a freshman, which was a pretty good feat for myself, considering that I had beaten a couple individuals that had gone to the national track meet the year previous. But I did not qualify that year, which fueled my fire to come back my sophomore year and work even harder and try and get to the national track meet, which I did. And I qualified, came in ranked 10th in the nation, and I ended up getting 7th, which gave me my first All-American status as a sophomore. I returned again as a junior, where I actually automatically qualified for the national track meet for the first time, breaking 175 feet, and ended up with my second All-American as a junior, placing 4th at the national track meet. Got to continue to compete as a senior, which put me in an interesting place where I got to compete at Howard Wood Dakota Relays, where I had competed many times as a high schooler, and had a great meet where I ended up setting the school record for the 2nd time that year, and breaking the 183-foot mark for myself. And competed against one of my other national competitors from Nebraska at that same meet, and it was a very cool experience. And you know, as an athlete, you always like competition. You always like having somebody right there forcing you to be better every single day, and it was a pretty cool experience for myself. Last was qualified again for national track meet. Went in ranked 6th in the nation, and I ended up having a really good meet. Had some of my best throws. They weren't necessarily the longest, but based on the conditions outside and everything, ended up in 4th again. So I ended up 4th my junior year, 4th my senior year, and got my 3rd All-American status for discus at South Dakota State University. That was a real cool experience, and the other pieces that I ended up accomplishing, other than setting the school record, was I was one of only 2 male athletes to ever win the North Central Conference track meet in a single event 4 consecutive years. The only other person to do it was the head coach and Olympian Rod DeHaven, who is currently at South Dakota State as their head coach. So I got to sit in some pretty elite status of individuals that accomplished some feats that not a lot of people had done before and will never do again because the North Central Conference doesn't exist anymore. So my name is still on the board as the record holder at South Dakota State. 21 years after I set that record. So it's a very humbling thing to have that happen and still be the record holder there. And goes back to all those years that I worked all the way from the time I was in 4th, 5th grade up through competing in AAU as a 6th, 7th grader, all the way through high school and college. So it was a great experience as an athlete to be able to progress and compete and perform at a level like I did in the Division II level. And I appreciated everything that I had for opportunities that my parents gave me and my coaches gave me and the university gave me by allowing me to come in on scholarship and compete for them. So that is my story of track and field.